Mayor Henderson.
Here.
Boone.
Here.
Norton.
Here.
Wolfe.
Here.
Schott.
Here.
Swagen. Here. Tiedemann.
Here. Agenda was sent out. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
Motion to adopt the agenda. Second.
Motion by Tiedemann and seconded to adopt the agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is adopted. No visitors to be heard. Old business. Consider second reading and adoption of ordinance 2021-10 ordinance amending the ward boundaries for the city of Beresford.
I need a motion on that, right?
What's that?
See a motion?
Yeah.
For adoption, right?
Yeah.
Something you wanted to tell us? I'm sorry, I interrupted you.
No, I just, there's an updated map is here. I did that this morning.
Which one is the updated one?
The one that's, well, there should be one, loose, the loose one for sure. They're probably both the same, I'm guessing now.
Golden moves.
This is official outline.
Golden moves for the second reading and adoption of ordinance 2021-10. Second.
Motion by Doden, seconded to consider second reading and adoption of ordinance 2021-10. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution passes. Resolution under new business, resolution 2021-15 contingency fund transfers.
Yeah, any questions about any of them? Just for the swimming pool, we knew the salaries were gonna be over. And we got a couple other areas that we're over. There's other areas that were over, some were under, so we just picked the ones that were over the most, try to bring them close enough to being what was budgeted, and then our big new budget. And then the fire department, their ladder truck had about a $10,000 repair bill that they had to take down to Nebraska to get fixed. So that's why we were over in the fire department.
Does that use the full contingency?
No,
No.
the contingency was 30,000.
Was there?
Yeah, we did not. We're just moving it around for something else.
Golden moves to approve resolution 2021-15 contingency fund transfers. Second.
Motion by Doden, seconded to consider resolution 2021-15 contingency fund transfers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution carries. 2021 year-end transfers to general fund.
Well, they're all listed there, just to have you make a motion on just the transfers to begin with. So we are transferring 500,000 compared to what was budgeted we had originally 730,000.
Plus there was a liquor store, wasn't there?
There was, we didn't have enough to take it
Right,
all
I'm just saying
at
for
the
the
time.
budgeted amount.
Right. Yeah.
What was that you said, Teresa?
The liquor store also had budgeted to transfer, I believe, to the general fund.
Yeah, we had 25,000 to transfer there, but
But we're not able to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
so that's
So-
the general fund.
You just needed a motion then to,
Yep.
transfer 235,000 from the electric department, 235,000 from telephone, 30,000 from solid waste, equaling a total of 500,000 to the general fund. That was my motion.
Second.
Motion by Doden and seconded to approve the year-end transfers to the general fund in the amount of $500,000. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. 2021 year-end transfers to reserves to South Dakota Fit.
These are all the dollar amounts that the departments had budgeted to put into reserves.
So I can make a motion for the 2021 transfers to South Dakota Fit as noted.
Second.
Motion by Swagen and seconded by Tiedemann to approve the 2021 year-end transfers to reserves to the South Dakota Fit. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Transfers approved. Supplemental appropriation ordinance 2021-11.
We just have the two that we wanted to take care of, and I think in the parks, that was one, mainly was the building. We had a few other areas that went over, but that's the main one we had there. And the computer equipment, we're gonna get a grant next year, but the money won't be here till next year, so
Right.
we have to pay the bill. So we just are gonna put 25,000 from contingency at this time, And this is just, we're gonna use cash on hand to pay for that, cash on hand in the general fund, so.
But that cash on hand is all earmarked for each department, so do we have to note on there which department we're borrowing that from?
It's all the general fund,
It'll come out of the general checking.
Okay,
sales tax and things like that, so.
all right.
Is there a motion to approve the supplemental appropriation?
Doug moves to approve ordinance 2021-11 supplemental appropriation.
Second. Motion by Doug and seconded to approve the supplemental appropriation 2021-11. Any further discussion?
I'm not sure where I should put these in. We can finish this one and then maybe before we do the next one. Talk real quick.
Yeah, it's not on the agenda.
I know.
No further
It's the
discussion?
agenda item here.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Get a comment?
Well, so every year in our audit report, we get a note from the auditors because we have cash balances that are negative. And each month, Elaine gives us this cash balance report. Our committee had met here a few weeks ago and discussed some transfers, and I guess there's just a few two transfers that I would like for us to do so that our auditors kind of can clear our back, so to say, on this issue for this year, for us to be proactive in transferring. One being the bridges as a negative cash balance here. And so I'd like to propose a transfer from gross receipts tax to cover their negative balance. And then there's a negative balance in the debt service clubhouse event center checking, which that is the bond payments, and the second and third penny tax is earmarked for that. So I'd like to propose a transfer from the second penny checking account to that account to cover those negative balances. So can I put that in there, or
Can do them in January.
can we backdate
Yeah.
in January? Okay. Okay, let's get those numbers, narrowed down, and then on Monday's meeting, Monday's meeting, add that in. So, okay.
So basically it just cleans everything up on the paper.
Clean up some negatives.
Yep, exactly. So, okay, so that'll come on Monday's meeting.
I feel better about it on Monday's meeting.
That's gotta make everybody feel better. You feel better. Next item, council approval to submit unclaimed property 2036-40 to the state of South Dakota. Is this that refund of, or?
So the last 3 months, we've been working on cleaning up accounts of like checks that have been just floating around. And so we have sent out letters to last known addresses and asking for a response back. So we started off with a balance of like $9,500, and we've got it dwindled down to $2,036.40 of funds that we have not been able to identify. So then at this point, we will send it to the state, and then the state will just hold it. And then if these people end up reaching out, I don't know if you've seen it on the news or not, but we're at the point where we can send off the remaining balance. And
You know who it's for, you just can't find them.
Right.
Right.
We've reached out to family members and
Like these are checks we've mailed out and they've come back undeliverable or something?
we've mailed out and they've never been cashed. So they've just been sitting in unreconciled. So we're cleaning up all those files.
You have my current address on file?
We do.
Okay.
There's
Making sure it's
actually,
not mine.
a client of mine was on the list, and the office reached out to him. We went back, and thankfully he still had his stuff from 2012, and we found that check, and thankfully we were able to cash it. So that's what's happening. Yeah, it's checks that we've sent out to vendors. They've never cashed them, and so now.
So we're just cleaning up everything, and we're at the point now where,
Were there any payroll checks in there?
yes, we were able to reach out to quite a few people.
Just
A
out
lot
of
of swimming
curiosity.
pool people,
What's that?
a lot of swimming pool staff.
One wasn't mine, was it?
No, we would reach out to.
Alright. How many of them are in that 2,000, just out of curiosity? I mean, just ballpark.
Little checks,
Really? So
Yeah,
they're,
they're little $14, $13, $28.
alright, just out of curiosity.
How long does the state hold this unclaimed property?
I thought we did pretty good starting out with 9,500.
But the state will cash the checks, or we'll send them one check, so they can earmark the money, and we'll be able to reconcile our
A
account.
little notice, come to our website and check.
So we need a motion for this?
Yes.
Stephen makes a motion to submit unclaimed property of $2,036.40 to the state of South Dakota.
Second.
Motion by Tiedemann and seconded by Schott to submit the unclaimed property in amount of $2,036.40. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Is there a motion for payment of any bills?
So it moves that we pay the year-end bill.
Second.
Motion by Doden and seconded to approve year-end bills. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. No further items for the council. Meeting adjourned.
All right, 14 minutes. We started late, 12.
It's a good, because Troy Doden makes